5201 West Kennedy Boulevard. It's right off the Howard Franklin there, and it's at 3 p.m. And it is the Day of Denial organized by 350.org with a lot of other organizations participating in it. And what we're doing is having a rally there and some small contingent to go inside the office to talk to Senator Rubio and raise awareness about the appointment of Rex Tillerson for the Secretary of State position. We feel that this person is not qualified for that position and would actually be a detriment to our national security, for one thing, in that position. So we're urging Senator Rubio and raising public awareness about that issue.
We'll get into more about Rex Tillerson in just a minute, but why don't you tell us about this Day Against Denial? You're talking about climate change denial. What does this have to do with Senator Rubio?
Well, Senator Rubio, I believe, is going to be one of the ones who decides, it has to pass Congress, all these appointees. So he's going to have his opinion about whether Rex Tillerson should be appointed to this position or not. So we're going to try to influence him to say, hey, the people do not want Rex Tillerson in this position.
Rex Tillerson is the former CEO, and I say former, but it was just recently that he stepped down and got a very generous golden parachute from the largest corporation in the world, ExxonMobil. What's ExxonMobil's role in climate denial?
ExxonMobil, from what I understand, had research done in the 70s and 80s, and they knew that climate change was a fact, that it was happening, and they just squashed those reports. They never released them, they hid them. And of course, as a fossil fuel company, they stand to lose a lot of money if people, governments, infrastructure changes from fossil fuels to renewable energy.
You're also concerned about Rex Tillerson's ties to Russia. He has business ties. When he was with ExxonMobil, ExxonMobil certainly did a lot of business with Russia. What are your concerns regarding Russia and foreign policy?
Well, he received an order of friendship from Putin, so they're very close. They have a relationship. The sanctions that were put in place against Russia in 2014 after the invasion of Crimea and the interference in the Ukraine, those squashed efforts that Exxon was having, efforts that Exxon and Rosneft, I think it's called, the Russian-owned oil company. They had some joint projects that they were going to work on together. And U.S. technology from Exxon was going to help Russia drill in the Arctic, which we're opposed to, of course, as well, because that would be an environmental nightmare, but that's another story. So that was squashed. That $500 billion possible revenue project was squashed because of the sanctions. So Rex Tillerson has opposed the sanctions. He wants to do what his best is for his shareholders. He doesn't care about the environment. All he cares about is the profit. And so it's a concern, right? Because if the sanctions against Russia should not be lifted because of a company can make money. The sanctions should only be lifted if our national security isn't threatened.
Well, what would you say about the argument to that, the counter to that, in that Rex Tillerson is no longer with ExxonMobil? He stepped down, so he may not have as much concern about the business interests of the shareholders of ExxonMobil.
It's my understanding that his golden parachute included $150 million to $250 million in stocks and other items in his portfolio that directly relate to Exxon. And it would be very difficult for him to divest from all of that.
A moment ago you mentioned Arctic drilling in the Arctic, which your group, Greenpeace, opposes. Why? Why would drilling in the Arctic Ocean, why would that concern you?
Well, drilling in the Gulf of Mexico is like drilling in a bathtub compared to drilling in the Arctic. In the Arctic, it's a lot more volatile. They don't have the necessary technology to clean up a spill. The water is colder. The environment is more fragile. Last time that Shell had 2 rigs up in the Arctic, one of them broke free. I think actually both of them might have broken free, but one of them for sure broke free and was bouncing around the coast. They had it was just like bouncing around in the Arctic Ocean. It hadn't actually started drilling, but it was set up there. They had to get a tanker to tow it out of the Arctic to do repairs on it. So they don't have the technology to clean up a spill if there is one. And it's more than likely that there would be a spill.
Well, Rex Tillerson for Secretary of State is not your only concern. You're also going to bring up the following people when you talk to Marco Rubio's office today. You'll also be concerned. You're concerned about Scott Pruitt, who has been nominated by Donald Trump to run the Environmental Protection Agency. Why do you oppose Scott Pruitt's nomination?
Scott Pruitt actually sued the Environmental Protection Agency against their Clean Air and Water Act. So he's not a fan of the environment, okay? Somebody that's suing the EPA should not be the head of the EPA. That's a conflict, a serious conflict.
He's from Oklahoma, and they've had a lot of problems with earthquakes, and the earthquakes didn't used to happen in Oklahoma. They've been attributed to the fracking that's been happening and the injection of water into wastewater into these disposal wells, which is causing these medium-sized earthquakes in Oklahoma for the very first time, essentially.
I know, it's uncanny, really.
Another nominee is Rick Perry, the former governor of Texas, the former Republican candidate for president in 2012, and he has been nominated by Donald Trump for the Department of Energy, and that's a little bit ironic.
Very much so. In fact, in one of his presidential debates, I think for the 2012, like you just mentioned, he said that he wanted to get rid of 3 of the departments in the government, in the United States government, and he could only name 2 of the 3. But one of the departments he wanted to abolish was the Department of Energy. But now he's going to be the head of it.
So that is something that you're concerned about because you think that the person who's in charge of the Department of Energy
should be committed to the position, right? And we need a Department of Energy person, appointee, that is going to move us away from fossil fuels and climate change, which is a threat to national security. The Department of Defense has already said that, and so has the State Department. They've already made comments to the fact that climate change is a threat to national security. So we need someone in the Department of Energy that is concerned about climate change and wants to move away from fossil fuels to more renewable resources.
And finally, in the Department of Interior, the secretary that's been nominated by Donald Trump is Ryan Zinke. What are your concerns about Ryan Zinke?
Well, I've done a little bit of research about Ryan Zinke, and I didn't come up with as much as I would have liked to, so I have to do some more research about him. But I know that during this last presidential election, he called Hillary Clinton the real enemy and the Antichrist, which sounds very extreme to me in language. It doesn't sound like someone that's got a filter. So I'm concerned for him to be in any position that would be managing and protecting federal lands and natural resources. We need someone that's committed to that position with a clean, level head to manage that.
And 350.org's Day Against Denial is today. You're going to be rallying outside of Senator Marco Rubio's Tampa office. Again, the details?
Yes, at 3 p.m. there'll be a small contingent that's going inside. We ask people to bring signs, hashtag #RejectRex. And we'll see you there, hopefully.
All right, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.